You're listening to the BS Podcast, where we cover all of the bullshit in the news and more. Now, welcome your hosts, Dave and Zach.
Hello and welcome back to the BS Podcast, where we talk the absurd, the ridiculous, and yes, the bullshit. I am Dave. Joining me is Zach. And Zach, the BS well is overflowing yet again this week, isn't it?
Every single week. It's never ending.
Absolutely no shortage of BS in the world. And
no way.
It's kind of fun to just kind of walk through it and laugh about it, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. That's the only thing we can do.
All right, so let's. I'll give the rundown here, and then we've got a couple of some personal gripes to talk about before we get into those.
Yeah, not national news, but just the bullshit in our local lives.
Hyper local news. Months, right? What's going on in their immediate area?
Yeah.
my 1 foot radius. All right, so this for this episode, we've got Missouri man develops a bioweapon. Is looking at toilet seat all that bad? And we got a heartwarming story from a local entertainment industry as it copes dealing with the lockdown. We've got Florida news. There's always Florida news. We've got 2 stories on social distancing. 1, talking about the importance of it, and 2, you don't have to stay home to practice social distancing. A really innovative way, yet again, people are kind of overcoming these barriers. And then we've got a brand new coronavirus treatment from China, something very promising. Then we're going to talk a little bit about what is an essential business. Then moving on, should colleges reopen? And then finally, India's under a nationwide quarantine. What are they hiding? We've got a terrifying story and really some implications that could be global. Get into those. But before we do that, of course, Zach, what's been going on in your – tell me your hyper-local news story, buddy. What's
all right. Well, first of all, I've got it, Dave.
Oh, no.
I've got it.
Yes.
I've got it. All right. I've got it. I found it. I finally found it. It was like one of 2 packages left at the local Lidl near my house. So I just want to give a local shout out to Lidl White Marsh for keeping as shitty and awful of toilet paper as this is. They've got it. So
is this like rest stop quality?
It is like it feels like it's used toilet paper, not recycled, but used toilet paper. Like they scooped it out of like a porta potty and like cleaned it off and re-spooled it. But you know what? It'll do for now. So
absolutely. But maybe you shouldn't have said where it is, because now if there's no chance of you getting another pack.
Oh shit! Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Now we have 1 roll left that we were able to get. Able to get some Kleenex, so that's a backup. So we're rationing, and I don't know if I mentioned this on an episode or not, but years ago I switched over to baby wipes. So that really has paid dividends going now in the shortage, because
I got a ton of paper towels, but I went to Panama for work, and I remember like when I went there, they were like, you can't flush your toilet paper here, you got to throw it in like the garbage can in your bathroom. And I'm like, this is awful. I'm like, who lives like this? And now that's like what we're doing. I'm like, this sucks.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah,
but I've got the toilet paper, so I don't have to do that anymore.
Oh my goodness. I think where was it? There was that it was the Winter Olympics in Russia or whatever. It was the same issue. I remember reading all the athletes were in this really crappy housing. And but I guess apparently for most of the world, you put it in the garbage, which I guess we're the only ones with plumbing advanced enough to flush a paper towel. Like,
I don't know. But what Olympic? I think it was like Russia when it was in Moscow, wasn't it?
Or was it Sochi or something like that?
Yeah, Sochi. Yeah. That's it.
And we had Americans and European different Europeans, but especially Americans, complaining on social media about where they had to put their that was like Fire Festival before like Fire Festival was a thing. Yeah. It was like the same thing, except like it was like drunk sports fans for the Olympics, but Fire Festival was just like rich kids going to a music festival. But at least there you could dig a hole, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that beats that out. Better than a waste paper basket. All right, so for my part, as you can tell, it's not quite there yet, but I can't get a haircut, and I don't know I don't know I don't know how long this is going to be. I mean, maybe we'll be doing the BS podcast and I'll have hair coming down.
Every episode, we'll do a supercut. Every episode, we like cut to both of our hairs getting longer. Like my Jew fro is going to get gigantic and like awful, and that's what's eventually going to happen. I mean, I'm going to buzz cut here eventually, and just go full on bald. It's
crazy, yeah. I guess. I mean, I'm going to go as long as I can until I just look completely disheveled, but we'll see. But this is a time to experiment for maybe new hairstyles, right?
It's got to be. I mean, it's a time for experimenting with anything.
The other thing is I got a toothache and no, my dentist won't see me. So.
Well, adults don't have to go to the dentist, Dave, so that's for kids, so it's okay.
Oh, but I mean, it's not too bad yet, but they're down to emergency services. So I don't know when that's going to clear up. And it's just like anything else. And I don't know how you feel about this. When this thing finally does clear, I'm not exactly going to be diving in the deep end of the pool. I mean, I'm going to be cautious working my way back into the system. What about you?
Oh yeah. I've got this like foot. I'm convinced my foot is broken for like the last like 4 days. I'm like, I'm not going. My wife keeps telling me like, you need to go get that looked at. You need to get an X-ray. I'm like, I'm not going anywhere near a fucking doctor's office. No way. I mean, I'll wait for all this to settle down. I'll just have a little limp for now, and then that'll be it.
Were you swinging on a vine, or was it less glamorous? What happened?
That's exactly what I was doing. I was doing a full-on Georgia of the Jungle, like swinging from the tree in my backyard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing.
There's no chance of video on that, is there?
No.
Okay. Last thing for me is I've gone full paranoia on the virus, and the house is on lockdown. I mean, we leave really only to take the dog out, to take the trash out, and that's it. I haven't gone anywhere. I did run out to the grocery store because we ran out of dish soap, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of critical.
Yeah.
I went out with my gloves on and did the Pac-Man thing. Like I think I told you when I went into Walgreens, when I bought a couple of things, I'm just avoiding everybody. Got in. Well, it's actually a grocery pickup, which is really nice. No contact. So that was great. Yeah. But I Lysol, nothing got into the house.
Everywhere's doing contactless now. I mean, pizza places, I'm like, they like come to your, I haven't done it yet, but apparently they come to your house and they like put the pizza down on the ground and then text you and you open the door and pick it up. I'm like, then your food's on the ground. So now you got dirt in your, but I mean, do what you got to do, I guess.
I mean, yeah. So where does it end, right? Because we did the same thing. We got food delivery, and thankfully they came in plastic containers. So I Lysoled the outside of the plastic container. It's really bad.
Oh God.
I live in a townhome, so we have a community trash. So every time I either wear a glove or I have a paper towel to open up the latch to get into the inside where the dumpster is, and then I don't know. It's bad. It's definitely in my head. I was telling my wife, I'm like, maybe this is just who I'm going to be from now on for the rest of my life.
You know what I don't understand about the latex gloves? I see people out in public with latex gloves.
That's me.
Yeah, but like you're using them, and then like so let's say COVID gets on your gloves, and you're still touching shit with your latex gloves. So you know what I mean? So does it make it useless? I guess as long as you're not touching your face.
What you do is you go out. All right, you got to be careful. You really want to know?
Yeah, I really want to know.
So you really got to plan ahead. So if you're going to buy something, you take out. I took out my debit card ahead of time. So I don't want like to your point. I don't want to be out there touching things and then go grab my phone and then grab my keys or whatever. So I keep my debit card out. Go out there. I consider everything there is contaminated, and then I have a trash bag prepared ahead of time, so that. You can really kind of think this through. And then when you're done with everything, you take the gloves off and put it in that bag. Then that bag is biohazard. You don't touch it. And then the dilemma is what about the things that I grabbed from the store, which is what I said. So I take that, I get another pair of gloves. And then I move those things to my front door, and then I sterilized all those with Lysol. And then finally those things are safe to come inside my house. And then, of course, I wash my hands just to be triple safe.
Well, I guess you're staying in now because with that damn process.
Oh, it's a process. And then, because you also got to think, well, now, because I'm touching the Lysol thing, so then I got to wash the Lysol. So it's, I may be coming from a mental institution by next week. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we're going through like a anthrax attack right now.
Oh my goodness. So, all right. Well, do you have anything going on in hyper news you want to get into before
that's it. You know, I found toilet paper, and that has been the height of since last week, since we last talked.
Okay. Great. So let's get into our main topics. Let's start with the Missouri man who developed a bioweapon, arrested on terror charges because he was going around and licking stuff in the stores and recording himself like a jackass.
You know, I saw it, and this is like back when that stupid ass lick the ice cream challenge was going around like a month ago. It's like this, but it's 100% worse.
Oh, terrible. I mean, you know, he's quoted saying, "Who's scared of coronavirus?" And he's going around. I mean, just licking everything in the aisle. This moron. I don't want to say his name, but goodness. And so, yeah, he was arrested on, I don't know, domestic terrorism, I guess. Oh, this comes from the UK. No, okay. He was a Missouri guy. Anyway, he was arrested for just being a jackass. I think that's what's going on.
Yeah, you're just an asshole, sir.
What kind of punishment would you recommend for this? Is this
I'd cut his damn tongue off.
Okay.
That's it.
I'm with you on that.
I guess then you could spit on stuff, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, you can have any. It's so beyond. It's that this kind of bullshit is around in my world, and some of these people maybe aren't smart enough to record themselves, or you know, maybe they wear a mask when they do it. Maybe they don't always get caught. Who knows? I mean, I've heard some stories. I couldn't find any confirmation of this, but I've heard some people say that people are walking around coughing on people and saying, "I got the corona" and all this stuff. I mean, I think. Swift execution if you're going around doing that.
I almost did it the other day. Some guy cut me off, and like I honked at him, and he like slowed down. I was like, okay, are you going to get out of your car right now? I'll cough on you. You know, that would have been my defense.
This is the new. We have the Second Amendment for guns, and then we'll come up with a new amendment that gives me the right to cough on somebody.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it on this guy. I want to talk about, you know, the question I posed, you know, is licking a toilet seat all that bad? Well, it turns out the kid who's doing this on Snapchat now has coronavirus. A jackass.
You get what you deserve.
He's just doing this on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, this was the coronavirus challenge. I think we might have talked about this maybe on our first episode, and it spread. There's a picture of this guy. There's two pictures in this story. It comes from Barstool Sports. One of them is licking a toilet. Not the seat, the actual toilet under the seat. He's really getting down in there. And then the next picture is a picture of him taking a selfie in a hospital.
Oh, God. It's funny that, like, Barstool Sports is reporting on the coronavirus challenge because there's no sports. I did see that they're talking about shortening the NFL season to 14 games.
Oh no!
Now, this season because of the virus. Just a little aside, I saw it the other day.
Oh, I missed
it was
that.
like we already bitched about them putting it to 17 games, and now all the coach. I saw an article. I don't have it in front of me, but all the NFL coaches got together and they said they anticipate it's going to be a 14-game season now because of the coronavirus.
Interesting. You know, I did see something from Kirk Herbstreit. There was a quote there where he said he didn't think there was going to be any football this year, and that was just enraging. So now they're thinking of trimming 2 games. So that would put them basically starting in just about October, right? Yeah. Or the last week in September.
I got to be honest with you. I hate the first games in September anyway. So, you know, I'm fine with that.
But, man, it's just – I mean, the worry there for me is it's 2 games, and then it's 4 games, and then it's 6 games, and then we just don't have a season or something. So,
God, that would be weird. A year without football? I mean, you know,
it'd be horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really, I mean, for me, I used to watch a lot more NBA and baseball and stuff like that, but it's kind of come down to me to college basketball and the NFL. That's really all I watch. And if I don't have the NFL, I'm going to be really pissed.
Yeah.
What am I going to do on Sundays, you know?
Yeah, it's like that feeling when the season ends in like, you know, February, and you're just like kind of walking around on Sundays like, what the hell do I do with myself?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't have 12 hours of football or whatever to watch.
I mean, I could prioritize some other things in my life, but no, let's just watch football instead.
I remember when like all the sports were getting canceled when all this pandemic went down.
Yeah.
And the XFL had not like canceled yet. And I had not watched an XFL game, but I was like, you know what? This might be the time I become a XFL fan.
Yeah. I mean, well, because they had the season. Well, wasn't it just recent actually? And then they canceled theirs. So yeah. Maybe so. We might have to wait till next. Are you saying that our next football might be the XFL season?
It might be
in next February.
Yeah. Yeah, they were the last to like call off their league, because I remember there was like memes going around of Vince McMahon like rolling in money, like because everyone was going to become an XFL fan.
Oh goodness! Speaking of that, I mean, maybe I'll just get back into pro wrestling. I don't know. That might be the only thing left. Well, they can't do it in front of crowds, right? But they're doing like WrestleMania and with no attendance or something.
I couldn't tell you the last time I watched wrestling. I'll sit there and put on like old matches, like the classic. Matches that were like so popular back in the day, but I cannot tell you the last time I sat down and watched like SmackDown or something.
No, I tried one time recently and I couldn't get into it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, Zach, let's move on. We got two great stories here, and one of them, I think the BS here is a tattletale. There was a strip club in California that was refusing to close, and some jerk goes and tells on them to the local news station. And now this local business trying to survive in a global pandemic is now being shut down.
Yeah.
I find that to be very disappointing.
I want to know who the asshole is that thought looking at nude women wasn't essential.
Well, clearly it was the wife of the guy who was inside.
Where are you going, honey? We're just going to pick up some toilet paper. That was like his lie. I'm going to pick up toilet paper. It's like, you can't find it anywhere.
But yeah, going on every day. He goes on a toilet paper hunt and just parks himself at the local strip club. Comes back, no toilet paper.
There's a restaurant near my house that's doing like, if you have every order over $25, they give you a free roll of toilet paper.
Oh, really?
Yeah, maybe this strip club or the one we talked about last week in Vegas. Every drive up lap dance you get comes with a free roll of toilet paper.
See, that's
business.
That's business and serving a public need. So
it's essential.
All right, so we get this strip club in California gets shut down by some busybody trying to rule the world and doesn't want anyone to have any fun. And so what do you do? Well, a strip club in Vegas has a really innovative way of serving the public and staying in business. You may have heard of Uber Eats, but now you've heard of Boober Eats.
And that's not a joke either. That's what they're actually called.
You can look this up on YouTube. It's a strip club in Vegas that serves lap dances and food. So now what they're doing is they're bringing the food to you, and you get a lap dance. So it's great. This isn't necessarily contactless delivery, but they're definitely.
It's definitely not contactless. If it's contactless, that sounds like a lame lap dance.
But this really is innovative, though. We could be seeing a new, be set of things that could come out of all this as our habits have changed. I mean, this could be the new normal. Boober Eats could be a thing nationwide.
That's the whole thing about this whole virus. I mean, is that it's forcing people to get creative and innovative with their businesses.
Yeah.
It's making people actually like, I know we're talking about a strip club delivering food, but just the whole concept of saying like, we need to change our business around and figure out what can work. And I think that these kind of things are going to go into the future. Maybe not, strip club delivery food, but that same kind of concept of changing your whole business plan.
Yeah, I mean, how close to normal will we ever get? We're not going to get back to 100%. Well, maybe it might take years really to get everything.
Oh, yeah. I don't think it'll ever be 100% in the way things were 100% now. It'll just be things will be normal again, but it'll be a different kind of normal. I think the biggest thing that I've seen going around is people saying, the one thing that this whole virus has taught is that the job that you had that your company told you could not work from home, it proves that you can, work from home with your job. Some people. So,
yeah. And it turns out maybe we don't need to have these big buildings where we all go to this place to work. Maybe this is going to reorient how we work and how businesses run. But that's way too serious for this show.
Oh yeah.
I'd love to know what all of you guys think about, one, this tattletale in LA shutting down the strip club, and then the innovative, the business decision here in Vegas to turn this thing into Uber Eats. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Zach, are you ready for Florida news?
I'm always ready for Florida news.
Okay, this is great. This one's, I don't even know where to go in this one. Now this is in my neck of the woods. The guy here in the Tampa area, Tampa church live stream shows tons of people at the service. This guy did not want to shut down. It's this mega church. His name is Dr. Well, I guess he has some sort of a divinity degree or something. Dr. Rodney Howard-Browne refused a request to temporarily stop holding large gatherings at his church. Instead, he was encouraging everyone to come. And then he was, I know you got some stuff on this, Zach. You got some quotes on this story.
Yeah. So he was finally actually arrested yesterday. And the sheriff from the area said his reckless disregard for human life put hundreds of people in his congregation at risk. That is a quote from the sheriff in his district. And I mean, it's true. You know, churches around the country are doing services online. In your home, direct to you. You know, people don't need to be there for it. But what killed me the most is there's a quote from him that he gave during that live stream service that got him busted. He said at the same time of the service, he's also not closing his Bible school because, quote, we are raising up revivalists, not pansies. I'm just going to say it. This guy's a dick. All right. I'm just going to throw that out there because it's true, man. I mean, who says that about this crazy time that we're going in? I mean, it is a pandemic.
Oh, it's absolutely irresponsible. Total BS to say that, you know, well, because here's what the guy said. He says, if anybody I got a quote here. Yeah. The pansies. He claimed to have some machines inside the building that would instantly kill any virus, and he said it's the safest building in America. So, well, I don't know. Then, what's the BS here? Is it the fact that maybe he's telling the truth, and maybe the CDC is ignoring this potential cure for the coronavirus because apparently he was having it in his church? I
think that's bullshit, Dave. I think every excuse he's made is bullshit because honestly, I think it's just people are going to give him. I think the chances of people giving money over the internet and donating to the church are very slim.
It's essentially a business for him.
Yeah, you know, I'm not trying to be sacrilegious. I am Christian. I go to church, but like what this guy is doing is clearly unsafe for the public. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And many churches are holding services where you could stream things, or they're streaming their services.
100%. Yeah. Just about everybody is doing that. You know, there's no reason you need to have 5,000 people or however many it was, you know, in your church building, you know, calling people pansies and making them feel like shit that they're not going to your service. Like, come on now.
Just a little virus. What are you afraid of?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we talked about that woman in South Korea who had coronavirus, would not listen to her doctors and self-quarantine, went to her church twice, and they found out that she infected over 1,100 people on her own.
Yeah, we talked about that in episode 1. I mean, this one person infected that many people. So how many more were like her that infected the same number of people?
This is in my neck of the woods now. Now you're potentially endangering me, and I'm going to have to Lysol you.
I was going to say, are you going to bump up your tactics now with your Lysol and trash bags and shit?
By the way, I found the quote here. It says, "The Lord has helped us secure our congregation. We bought in 13 machines that basically kill every virus in the place. If somebody walks in the door, it's like it kills everything on them. If they sneeze, it shoots down at like 100 miles per hour. It'll neutralize it and split it in seconds. So we have the most sterile building in, I don't know, all of America." So, I mean, that's my question, though. If he's got this 100-mile-an-hour machine that can kill any virus, maybe we got the wrong guy.
You know, hey, if he is telling the truth about this technology, maybe he needs to be running the corona pandemic, like the team
in charge.
You know, to get fucking Pence out of there and get Rodney Howard-Browne in there to control the coronavirus pandemic in the United States.
Oh, goodness gracious. What a load of horse shit. All right, so let's move on. Now, this is getting even closer to my house. Naked couple found wrestling in car outside Florida Mall during fight about pee napkin, police say.
Where the hell do you live?
I want to tell you. This story comes from Clearwater, Florida, in the Clearwater Mall, which is literally less than 10 minutes away from my house. A couple was having sex in the parking lot, and then she got up to pee, or got outside the car to pee, as we all do in parking lots, and she wiped herself with a napkin. See, another problem with toilet paper shortages. If there was toilet paper for everyone, she could have brought that along with her in the car and used it, and then put it somewhere. I don't know. But
she should have drip dried.
Yeah, right. Don't be so particular.
Yeah.
You were just in a car doing the dirty deed, and now you're peeing outside. What are you so worried about wiping for? So then they got into an argument, and she threw she wiped herself with the napkin and then threw it at the guy, and then they got into a big fight, and they're running around naked, yelling at each other in the parking lot. This is insane.
I think the biggest bullshit is that she threw the piss napkin on him. I mean,
yeah, well, I mean, you presumably had a good time. Why just throw it outside, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, unbelievable. So that mall is closed. So maybe they thought they can go to like a quiet spot or something and no one will notice, and we could run around naked and no one will care. I don't know.
They'll break in and have the whole vacant mall to throw piss rags on each other.
Oh, goodness gracious. So yeah, I mean, that news was getting closer and closer to my home. Yeah, the next story will be me. But so we got one more in Florida news. Grand theft lingerie. Man steals over $800 in lingerie from Dillard's. This must have been before maybe Dillard's shut down. This one comes from Brevard County, Florida. Man was caught stealing hundreds of dollars worth of lingerie, ran through a Dillard's store in an attempt to avoid arrest. He stole $836.88 worth of lingerie that was found in his backpack. Strange, right? What was he going to do with all that?
I guess sell it. Like there's a black market for lingerie now. I mean, I know there's a black market for toilet paper now. I know they're in, Lysol and all kinds of shit. But
is he just maybe just a hopeless romantic trying to get something for his woman?
Yeah, maybe he stole $800 worth of options.
Oh, poor guy. All right. Anything? Do you have any other Florida news? Anything you want to mention before we get out of this horrific state of affairs here?
Nothing from me.
Okay, great. So let's get into our social distancing news. Tennessee woman gets coronavirus after bragging about not social distancing. This one comes from the New York Post. She was talking about, basically, I ain't scared of no virus.
I ain't scared of no virus.
These are all the same. I mean, she does not exactly what you said, but, that kind of idea. It's like all these stories end the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it's right. It's let's all hang out together, and then and then they wonder why they get coronavirus.
All right, I got a quote here. He's the Nashville resident told followers she's aware that we're supposed to be self-quarantining and social distancing to keep everyone safe, but that she wasn't worried. She's like, cool, I get it. I just don't think I'm going to get the virus. So she wasn't worried, and now she's got it. And of course, there's a picture of her.
Dumbass, you might as well go and lick the toilet seat.
At this point, right?
Yeah.
That's all I had on that. Now we have next. So that's bad social distancing, not following. But then here's a good version of it. A hairdresser creates a barrier between her clients by cutting arm and eye holes in an umbrella as she attempts to continue working through the coronavirus pandemic. Now I'll say this: I can't get a haircut because my guy, he won't do this. He won't put that umbrella on and make the arm in the eye holes. So
how the hell does that work? How do you go? Why wouldn't you just get like a full hazmat suit? Like that way you still have use of your fingers and hands and everything. Like how do you hold an umbrella and see through it? I guess
she must get rid of the pole. That's number one. She cuts the pole out and then makes the holes and then puts the hand in, and then you have this sort of barrier, and you look like a character from a theme park or something.
Like a fast food chain mascot or something.
Yeah. But I like that, though. At least showing some innovation and being able to cut hair, because like I said, I can't get mine done. This is the new treatment from China for the coronavirus that I was teasing. We got a story here out of EcoWatch. China recommends bear bile to treat COVID-19, worrying wildlife activists.
I'm sorry, bear bile?
All
right, that's this is going to be the next person that dies from fucking trying their own homemade coronavirus cures. There's going to be some guy in the woods chasing down a damn bear trying to extract his bile.
Right. I mean, so yeah, that's really the point here. This is the bullshit. Is that these poor bears are going to? How many bears are going to be slaughtered so that these people can try to look for a cure that will never be the cure? Just unbelievable. As we both take a drink.
It's such bullshit. We have to pause for a second to take it in.
And there's this thing. There's this animal now. They think it might not have been. It might not have been humans eating the bat, but that the bat might have transmitted to something called a pangolin. Have you heard of this animal?
Yeah,
it's like a scaly anteater.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're eating this poor guy too. Just stop eating that shit, man.
I think those animals were already like fucking endangered anyway. From I saw an article not too long ago about pangolins and about how people were hunting them for something, and now with this, it's going to be even worse.
Poor thing, man. He's just trying to eat some ants and going on with his life. And he's getting slaughtered and eaten for. That's not food. Leave it alone.
They're adorable. They're like the exotic version of an armadillo.
Yeah. All right, man. What do we got next?
Did you hear about the Hobby Lobby stuff?
Yes.
So the Hobby Lobby owner, I believe he's worth like $6 billion, something like that. He is deeming Hobby Lobby essential. So it goes into this big conversation of what is actually supposed to be deemed essential right now. And according to some outlets, I'm trying to track down how real this is, but according to Business Insider, one of the reasons that they are staying open is because he received a message from God about it. And also he is not paying sick leave to his employees. So he's forcing the employees to come to the store to work, not paying them sick leave. Another man sitting there, billionaire, probably friends with Rodney Howard-Browne, I would assume.
Oh, that would not be good. It's Hobby Lobby, Michaels, and Joanne Fabric. I like this quote here. This comes from Business Insider. It says, as Joanne, referring to Joanne Fabric, is claiming to be essential in helping people's health, one customer bought a bottle of hand soap, a terracotta pot, and a saucer.
That's some essential shit, Dave.
Another one bought a plastic crochet hook. These piddling purchases make me very irritated. Oh, this is a quote from a worker. It's like, why are we exposing ourselves? So, but that's the thing, though. It's like, what would happen? I mean, would they all? What do you do? I mean, you lay them. I saw like Macy's laid off like 150,000 people or something like that. Are they paying their salaries? I don't know. It's really that's a lot. I mean, we passed that bill. I don't know how this works. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, do these people lose their jobs otherwise? Do they just get paid or what?
I don't know, and I don't think anyone really knows how this works right now. We're basically running on autopilot. The whole I'm going to give you the whole country is running right now like the city of Baltimore has ran for like years, because it's like the mayors of Baltimore have gone like through scandal after scandal with so it's like Baltimore City's just been running on autopilot for like two years probably, and that's how the whole country is being run right now.
No one's in charge.
No one's in charge. No one knows what to do. It's just like everyone's running around screaming at the top of their lungs, just like making shit up as it comes.
Oh, unbelievable. Well, I mean, the good news is if you're not afraid of the coronavirus and you need some tchotchkes or some kitsch or some crochet needles, you can still go to Joanne Fabric, Hobby Lobby, and Michaels if you need to do some crafts. Although,
damn right.
Being able to do some crafts, that could, a lot of people are bored and anxious, don't know what to do being stuck at home, and maybe doing a craft project can stop you from killing yourself or your spouse.
So Maryland just did a shelter in place officially, like, Hogan, $5,000 fine. I think it's like a year imprisonment is the risk or the sentence. It started at 8 p.m. last night. And I was like, shit, I got to get some stuff because I'm like working on my house right now to get me through it. And I like dipped out the Lowe's, just to get some stuff to keep me occupied. Yeah. The damn paint line like almost wrapped around the store of people getting paint because everyone's got the same thing. They're like, I need to do something to keep myself occupied.
Yeah. Well, what does that order entail? Like you can't leave the house?
Yeah. Only for groceries, and essential workers, medicine, doctors, that kind of thing. They're enforcing a shelter in place. I don't know how they're going to enforce it because for me, it's like, what happens if someone's driving to go to like a secret party or they're driving to go to the grocery store?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I guess,
how do you know?
I guess maybe they'll look for people on the highway because generally I think you don't need to get on the highway to go to the grocery store. Right. Okay. There's usually a grocery store within
nearby
side streets, or whatever. So chances are if you're on the highway, you're probably driving to work or something like that.
So does that include restaurants and all that too? So there's no more delivery takeout?
No, delivery takeout is still open, deemed essential. I even think liquor stores are still open. So
what about Hobby Lobby?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know where the nearest Hobby Lobby is to be. My wife would know. I should get up here and ask her.
They have like it's not quite that severe here. There's no penalties. It's just sort of like I don't even really know what I would call it. Well, at the county next to me, they have a curfew at like 10 p.m. But here it's just more like advice. Just stay home. Don't gather with groups of more than 10 people. We get a message about boating a lot to not load more than 10 people on your boat and to stay 50 feet from another boat, that kind of thing. That's
how it kind of was here, but no one really listened. The cases in Maryland have just been getting so bad every single day. It's like, I think the other statistics, they said it's like a 300% increase in the latest numbers or whatever. But in Hogan's press conference the other day, he was literally like, I've had it up to here with all you assholes. He was like, no one's listening to me. So now...
Yeah,
$5,000.
How do you like it now?
You get caught, $5,000. You're in jail. The other day, there was like at least I live right next to a high school, and so a lot of people use the football field to just hang out, whatever. And the other day, I was taking my dog for a walk, and I was looking at the football field, and there was at least like 100 little kids. I think they're having like some kind of little league practice. I think it was like soccer or something. And all of a sudden, a helicopter flies over and gets on a loudspeaker and starts ordering people to disperse from the field. I'd never seen that before. And I was like, yeah, man, this is bullshit. Get the hell off the field, you little shitheads.
Yeah. What are you thinking? Yeah. Well, are the parks closed too? Cause that would be, that sucks as a dog owner.
That's one thing that's kind of up for debate. Like, I think a lot of public parks around here have closed the gates for the parking lots.
Yeah.
But the parks are still open.
You could just kind of walk in.
Yeah. So essentially it's like it's still open for people within walking distance. I guess that's their way to kind of keep crowds down because a lot of these parks are so big. It's not like they're near a lot of like houses or suburbs or communities, So the chances of them getting big crowds of people are less if there's nowhere for people to park.
Yeah, it makes sense if you don't have anywhere to park. Yeah. All right, Zach, let's move on. We've got two last stories here. Do you want to hit up this second to last one here about colleges?
Yeah, so Liberty University, it's one of the most popular evangelist like universities in the country. I mean, talk about like Bible Belt, very strict Christians. That's who goes to this university. And I saw an article the other day by New York Times, and the president or the dean or someone at Liberty University actually like clapped back at New York Times for posting this. But according to the New York Times, Liberty University brought back their students, and the same thing a lot of people are doing. They're saying this whole coronavirus isn't as serious. And, there's more important things. And they brought back students, and people, of course, are starting to get sick now. They've got
that's a shocker.
They've got a bunch of students getting quarantined and things like that. Now, the president of the university says it's the New York Times blew the article out of proportion. But I believe it. I'm, just based off what other people are doing,
This is absolute bullshit. There's no reason why they should reopen. Are they like the only school in the whole country that reopened?
They have to be. They have to be.
I almost opening up yourself to liability at this point, aren't you?
Oh yeah. But I mean, I guess some of these people, like, who's going to sue a big evangelist university? I don't know.
Well, yeah, because it's sort of like if you send your kid to Liberty, then you probably all you believe in their mission and who they are and who the people are. It's a very specific choice to go to a school like that, right? So it's maybe different than your local state university or something. But still, I mean, I'll tell you what. I mean, if they opened up school and I got to send my kid back, my kid comes back sick and then gets me sick or something, or God forbid someone in the family dies because of it, you better believe I'll be suing the school for that.
Bullshit.
Absolute
with
bullshit.
A capital bull.
All right, so we saved the scariest story for last. Quarantine man runs nude in Tamil Nadu, fatally bites elderly woman. Now, this is terrifying because now, like as I mentioned, the country of India is on complete lockdown. And my question is, what are they hiding here? This man who was in quarantine for coronavirus returned from Sri Lanka. Guy runs out naked, takes his clothes off, runs over, bites a woman, and she dies. So, here's his. Eventually, he admitted the woman died here. The guy got out. All right, so he came out of his house Friday evening. All of a sudden, denuded himself and began running through the streets. Shocked family members, including his father, gave chase, but even if he caught hold of the woman seating on her front yard and just bit hard on her neck. Health authorities were unavailable for comments immediately. Because there's a vampire running around.
A fucking zombie. Hey, we're waiting for this thing to turn into like a zombie disease, and this is where it starts. But it's funny. Like you go online and look up what cops and authority in India are doing. Have you seen the videos? They're going around beating people with sticks. Like you see people drive their mopeds, and a cop stops them and starts whipping them with the damn stick. And I'm like, this is why, because you people are biting each other. Like, I mean, come on, man.
Oh. So, yeah, I mean, is this the beginning of a zombie apocalypse coming out of India?
Fuck, I hope not.
And is that why they shut the whole country down?
Yeah, it's like, don't come here, you'll get bit.
See, people have been almost sickly praying for the zombie apocalypse. We heard that for many years. And everyone was sort of disappointed when when it didn't actually happen.
Yeah, when pandemic didn't include people rising from the dead.
Oh, God forbid. It's just enough. Let's just hope it's just an isolated story and not some weird strain of the virus that makes you go crazy or something.
Yeah, it's like mixed with I don't know, like mad cow disease or something. Makes you go nuts.
If you see,
I don't even know if that's what mad cow disease does, but it sounds like that's something that would do.
Yeah, right. May just make you go. It sounds like you just go insane. I would say public service. If you see someone running naked in your neighborhood, assume that they're a zombie. That's pretty safe, right?
Just because of the virus. If this were normal times and someone's run naked through your neighborhood, that's fine. But because the corona's going around, there's the risk of zombies now, apparently. Now it's time to stop them.
Oh, Zach, I'm actually tired of the bullshit at this point. Did you have any other bullshit you want to shovel off here before we get out of here?
Oh, that's it. I think I'm bullshitted out for today.
Excellent. I'd love to know what all of you think of the items that we covered today. Please go ahead and comment below here on the YouTube page. If you're watching here, if you're listening on a podcast, please, we'd love it if you give it a rating and review on iTunes, wouldn't we, Zach?
Yes, we're on iTunes and Spotify, and also wherever else you find podcasts. Definitely rate, and give us some comments too, so we can all this funky algorithm. We can get us up in the charts and get us out there a little bit more.
Absolutely, and we're going to be doing these every week. So subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can get notified every time we post a new episode. Definitely check us out at informedamerican.com. And Zach, that actually gives me a thought. I'd love for you guys if you guys had got really BS news, if you come across something really stupid, throw it in the comment section, shoot it at us so we can talk about it on the air. But we'll be checking all those. And definitely check us out at informedamerican.com. All right, Zach, that is enough bullshit for today. For Zach, I am Dave, and I've just had enough of this BS.
You've been listening to the BS Podcast with Dave and Zach, part of the Informed American Radio Network. Please like and subscribe today in order to get fresh new weekly episodes. Please send us your BS stories to info@informedamerican.com. The world is hard enough, and now we gotta deal with this bullshit.